והעניין כי הנה שמחה זו הוא מחמס or in sof baruch hu. The concept is because this rejoicing is because of the infinite light may be blessed mikor hachaim mikor tanugi mamlubash b'mitzvos, the source of life, the source of pleasures that's included in the mitzvos. Mamar asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav, like we say that he sanctified us with the mitzvos, that there's kedusha in the mitzvos. Asher hu lashon tainug, and the word asher is a language of pleasure. Gadol me'od ad lahalel, very great, to the point where you praise it. Ukum ba'ashrei ki yishruni banos, like it says, the pasuk says that in praise, that daughters will praise me. That's a concept of praise and pleasure and seeing him. Shuhu lashon simcha v'hilul al rov tov chulu, which is a concept of rejoicing and praising because of the great amount of good. Like it says, and Adam was placed in Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, to work it and to guard it. To work it with positive commandments. That is, that through the positive commandments you make a Garden of Eden, you make a garden of pleasure, a place of pleasure, a place of joy. And that's through the mitzvos. That is through the mitzvos you bring down the radiance of the divine presence. That the righteous should have a pleasure from it. That they have a pleasure from Hashem in the Garden of Eden, which is an infinite pleasure, wondrous pleasure. So this is the Gan Eden happens from the mitzvos, and the mitzvos correspond with the Gan Eden. And that's why it says by Elisha Acher that it was worth it for him to go through his tremendous long judgment. That all the pains of Gehenna were worth it to go through them, in order to finally receive the reward and the pleasure in the world to come. And like our sages said, Al Rabbi Akiva, like Rabbi Akiva, when he saw a great city of idol worshippers, and he said, if for those who go against Hashem's will, that's the great pleasure and noise that they can make, to those who that fulfill Hashem's will, how much more so that their pleasure is much, much greater, and their reward is greater. That is to say, that if there's such tremendous joy and pleasure to those who go against Hashem's will, that those are the pleasures in this world, that the pleasures were coarsened and physicalized in this world, in its coarseness and physicality, that not in the normal gradations of the creation process, and the going down mornings of Baruch from the infinite light may be blessed, madrega acha madrega, or from level to level, madregos to kedusha, like in the normal process of holiness. But the pleasures fell down from the higher levels of holiness. In a concept of falling down from a great height into the depths and so forth. So that's why you have those people who are against Hashem's will having such tremendous pleasure and reward. That's why they're called those that went away from Hashem's will, meaning to say that they traveled, that the traveling is not the normal travel of the descent of the worlds, rather the pleasure that came down to those places below went heviru esaderech. They went in a not normal path, meaning that they fell down all the way from above to below. So they're having this tremendous pleasure, and not in the normal fashion, and not in the normal way of traveling there. So if the people who go against Hashem's will are able to reach such tremendous pleasures from on high, So the pleasure that fell in the breaking of the vessels. So those people who go against Hashem's will. So if the people who go against the Hashem's will, there's such a tremendous pleasure from the breaking of the vessels. How much more so to those who fulfill Hashem's will? Also, even that it's made and given with a divine will, in the normal fashion for bringing down holiness from level to level, in the higher Garden of Eden and the lower Garden of Eden, which is the having pleasure on Hashem. That certainly you have the tremendous pleasures without end, which is the source of life and the source of pleasures. And the Tzemach Tzedek adds, look over there, and the Tzemach Tzedek brings a kitzer now. And this joy is because of the source of pleasures that's enclosed in the mitzvahs Bechinas Tarach Amudei Or, which are the 620 pillars of light, Keser, which is the Gematria Keser, Asher Kedishanu, that we spoke about how the concept of Asher, pleasure, that he sanctified us, there's Kedush in the mitzvahs, of the Ose Gan Eden, and we said that doing the mitzvahs creates the Gan Eden is a place of pleasure. Ziv Hashchina has Tainug Nifla, that the radiance of the divine presence in Gan Eden is a tremendous pleasure. Because we said that Kal V'chomer, that if those who go against Hashem's will, so those who go with Hashem's will get a great pleasure from Mishver Sakelim. So those who follow Hashem's will, how much more so? Because those who go against Hashem's will receive from the external concept of the divine will, and those that follow Hashem's will receive from the inner concept of Hashem's will, and that's the end of the note from the Tzemach Tzedek. Now this pleasure is drawn from the mitzvahs. That's why the mitzvahs are compared to candles. Or just like when you light a candle, the house is full of light, viziv and radiance. So too, by doing the mitzvahs, you draw down a radiance into the Garden of Eden. So that's why it says, because you did not serve Hashem, your Hashem, with joy and a good heart, more than all, Mirov Kol. That is to say, what is it, Mirov Kol, more than all the pleasures in the Gan Eden? Because the world to come, more than all, is all the pleasures of the world to come. And the mitzvahs, they have to have a joy more than them. And that's when you place it onto your heart. That in the heavens above and on the earth below, on all the praise of the works of your hands and so forth. That is to say, in the heavens above, that refers to the higher Garden of Eden. And on the earth below, that refers to the lower Garden of Eden. So the praise is that the praise of them is not to you. That is the only praise we give them is al kol shevach ma'aseh yadecha. We can only praise them that they're the works of your hands. For example, if you praise a person that they made something nice, Gadol Mitzayer Tzir Noah, like he knows how to write nicely, or he knows how to draw a beautiful picture. That this kind of praise does not truly praise his wisdom or his essence. And being so too, all of the praise to the that's to the Garden of Eden and to the souls, lisanig al Hashem, baskalasam masagasam, to the souls, that they have a pleasure in their on Hashem and their understanding and grasping. The praise is not to Hashem himself, but only to Hashem's works. Levad alone, that in this, in Gan Eden, the neshamas have a understanding and a grasp, and they grasp. And that is the radiance of the divine presence that shines from the mitzvahs that the neshamas did. That's called the acts of the works of his hands, of the Holy One, blessed be He. Because with an arousal from below, by keeping the mitzvahs, with an arousal from below, by keeping the mitzvahs. I'm sorry. So there's an arousal from above. The Holy One, blessed be He, puts on tefillin. When the Holy One, blessed be He, heals the sick, and blesses the years, and he satiates in the living with kindness and so forth. And because of you doing the mitzvah, so then Hashem also, so to speak, does the mitzvahs and brings down a light. That is, he brings down a light into the Garden of Eden. To have a pleasure on Hashem with their understanding and grasping this divine flow. Haga, and that Tzemach brings Haga, and this is also what it means. The pasuk that says, "And the works of his hands, the heavens speak." Because the Garden of Eden is also called the Beis Medrash of the heavens. So the Rakia is also Mesivta de Rakia. And Maisa Yadav. And look what it says in the Mamar about in the Rakia is his strength, the O is his Torah, and in the Rakia is his Torah. In the Mesivta, in the Beis Medrash, where they're studying Torah, we're talking about an understanding of the divine radiance. So this is an understanding of Torah as well. And we're saying also that this radiance in the Mesivta Derkiya is only a glimmer. And what does it mean, the works of his hands? And the concept is because the mitzvahs in Torah, their source is from the different levels of Keser. You have the skull, so to speak, which is the Keser of Keser, and you have Mochas Tima Darichanpin, you have the hidden wisdom of Arichanpin, Shebehen Mulubish Keser Gvoradat Yamin, that in these two concepts, the Golgalt and Mochas Tima, you have both the Chesed and the Gvura of Atik. So you have the Partzuf of Arich and Mulubish in the Partzuf of Arich is the Partzuf of Atik, and the Chesed and Gvura of Atik are Mulubish in the Golgalt and the Mochas Tima of Arichanpin. And that is the concept of by Yosef. It says that he had the paz gold, the precious gold, the paz gold on his hands, on his ros, on his arms. That is to say, like it says that the Torah is more precious than gold, and from paz as well. So you have this concept of the yada, of the chesed and gvura, and you have the chesed and gvura of Atik, Mulubash in Golgalt and Mochas Tima, and that's the source of the Torah and the mitzvahs. And this is also the concept of the left hand. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand is holding me. The Kayal Torah mitzvahs that the right and the left are also correspond with the Torah mitzvahs, like we said, that's why it's called Maaseh Yadav. The Torah mitzvahs and the Gan Eden is called Maaseh Yadav because it's a revelation from Golgotha and Mochastima of Arichanpin that has in the Atik Yomin. The Atik Yomin is the concept of pleasure, and the pleasure of the Chesed and Gvura of Atik is revealed into Gan Eden through the Torah, the mitzvahs, that, like it says in Medrash Shab Nishir Shirim about when it talks about the right and the left hand, it's referring to Torah and mitzvahs, and so that corresponds with this as well. Parshas Naso, Bebir al Pasuk Naso Esrosh B'nei Gershon, Perek Aleph. Look in the Mamar Likutei Torah, the Tzemach Tzedek says, by the lifting up the heads of Bnei Gershon, when it says that the Mikdash of Hashem, your hands established. It's a similar concept of the hands establishing the Mikdash, the dwelling of Hashem's presence, through the right and the left hand. Ad Kanagan, that's the end of the Haggah. Back to the Mamar of Akama Mini Madrega Zula Mizu. And how many levels one above the other, Baskalazu, in this concept of a revelation of understanding of Hashem and Gan Eden, Bekama Minetei Nugi, with many different pleasures, Ad in Kates without end, Shieshkama Mini Gan Eden Hulu, that there's a number of different levels of Gan Eden, Hagam Shaloniska, Besfarim Rak Gan Eden, Tachtun Ve'elyon, even though in the holy books it only speaks of the higher Garden of Eden and the lower Garden of Eden. But nonetheless, our sages said, that Torah scholars do not have any rest. Like it says, they will go from strength to strength, and so forth. And on this it says that in all in the heavens and the earth, and the translation is that the united in the heavens and the earth. And what does it mean, this uniting the heavens and the earth, the uniting of the Garden of Edens, the higher and the lower? And this is the concept that's brought in the holy books, Sheish Amud Began Eden, that there's this pillar in the Garden of Eden, Shabo Olin Megan Eden Elyon Latachton, that this is like a elevator, that you go up from the lower and the higher Garden of Eden. The higher and the lower Garden of Eden are attached by this. That this pillar unites the Garden of Eden, the higher garden, with the lower garden. And there's many different pillars to the many different holy people, the holy neshamas and righteous people. So each one has a pillar according to their level, and many different elevations, elevation after elevation, like the concept that's brought in the early midrashim about the 50,000 yovels of existence. There's many different kinds of elevation spiritually, level after level. And all this is in the concept of a radiance from the works of his hands alone. All of this revelation in Gan Eden, many levels. It's all a so to speak, the works of his hands. But in the infinite may be blessed, and his essence and being, there's no thought that can grasp it all. The angels say that he's exalted and separate from all these levels, and therefore the angels that we compare to wheels, they have a great noise and so forth. That they say, where is this place? Because they can't know it. So that's the essence. But the mitzvahs themselves, the concept of a light of a candle, that from this, the divine presence, the radiance is drawn down. So the Tzemach Tzedek has a Haggah, And we brought before that the higher Garden of Eden is called the heavens, and it's also called the firmament, and you have the base of Medrash of the firmament. But Parshas Breshis, because of Or Mayim Rakia, and Parshas Breshis, you have this concept of you have the in the very beginning of Sefer Breshis, you have the concept of Or, and then the concept of Mayim, and the concept of Rakia. V'Mayim hima al Rakia, and the waters are above the level of the firmament. Because Shechen Bechinas Or, and how much more so the concept of light, Shegavor Bechinas Mayim, which is higher than the concept of the water. Sham Shoresh Hatorah Shenikra Or V'ner Mitzvah Kanagan. From there is the source of Torah, which is called a light and a candle. So we said that the Torah is a concept of Masifta Rakia, and we said that the mitzvahs are a concept of light. So you have Or Mayim Rakia, and so you have the concept of Or, and you have the concept of Rakia in Breshis, and that's the source of Torah and the mitzvahs. Ad Kanagan, that's the end of the Hagah. So he brings the concept of Shamayim, the heavens, and that's the Gan Eden HaElyon, and that's how it's connected to the Or of the candles, and also the Rakia, the Masifta Rakia of Torah. V'heim Mikor Haziv Shem Nekraim Evarim de Malka, and that's the concept that they're the source of the radiance, which are called the limbs of the king. That these are the mitzvahs are limbs and vessels to the infinite light. Baruch Hu may be blessed, Mamosh. Therefore, all the mitzvahs say in front of Hashem, Lifnei Hashem Mamosh, that you have the pnimius of Hashem drawn into them because they're vessels for the light. Like it says that I am commanding you today. But that it says I am commanding you, that is today, to do them. When you actually do them, not in the Gan Eden, then you have Hashem in his essence. Mamish mitzvah chachulu is commanding you, meaning to say that in this world, when we're actually doing the mitzvos, not when we're getting the reward, there you have Hashem in his essence. V'ilazos, you have the atmos, v'ilazos, and for this, therefore you have much greater joy when you actually do them in this world. Therefore, the rejoicing in fulfilling the mitzvahs is such a great thing to Hashem, or and so Baruch Hu, the infinite light may be blessed. Mamash Malubish Behen, that's enclosed in the mitzvahs, that they are vessels to the Ein Sof in this world. Be a call even greater than all the pleasures of Gan Eden. I know is called the Achid B'Shemayim V'Ara, when that is the concept of greater than the call. Like we said, the call is the uniting the heavens and the earth, even greater than all the pillars and the elevations and in the elevators of the Gan Eden, from level to level, from all the different tzaddikim. So this is the simcha should be mirov call, even greater than all these calls. The achid b'shamayim v'ara, all this concept of uniting. The general call is yisod, which is the concept of uniting higher and lower, heavens and the earth. Like it says, our sages said that greater is 1 hour of Torah mitzvahs in this world than all the life in the world to come. And look what it says about this in Menorah Zav. Kitzer. We have a kitzer shatain ugzenim shachma mitzvos, that the pleasure is drawn from the mitzvos. Ki aratzon yefshar arichanpin melubish bo hatainug atik, that in the arichanpin is enclosed the pleasure of atik valken nikreneros, and that's why the mitzvahs are called candles. Tarach amudei or, they are the 620 pillars of light. Zomrov call, and it's greater than all of the pillars of Gan Eden. Ki kol b'shamayim v'ar, it's because the concept of call is greater than the heavens and the earth. That's greater than the pillar that's in the Garden of Eden. Ha'amud nikra kol yisod, which is the concept of yisod bo nimshach Minan Sharibina, and then that pillar you draw down from the 50 gates of understanding into the Gan Eden, to have the neshama should have some understanding. It's from Bina. Torah mitzvahs yosem of call, and with the Torah mitzvahs they draw down from higher than that. That they're drawing down from the Yisod of Atik, and that is to say that you have Atik is in Chesed and Gvur of Atik are included in the Torah mitzvahs, and we actually do them not in this world, and we draw down the concept of Atik, and we brought the whole concept of Maisi Yadecha, that you have this concept of the right and the left side, but as they are in this world, you draw down from the pillars, the Tarach Amudei Or, which are the concept of Yisod, of drawing down Yisod of Atik, in down here